So, a simple fact with being a film fanatic, with watching really everything, is there's going to be a whole bunch of things that will be swept under the rug, a whole bunch of things that you'll end up missing. And one thing for me that I just simply never got around to seeing, that was Demolition Man. And I figured that because it was the 90s, a lot of those movies that weren't well received back then have aged better. And I can comfortably say that the backlash, well, maybe backlash is a little bit, isn't the right word to use, but the people that bashed this film when it came out, yeah, I belong in the majority of people that hated the film. Yeah, this movie, it doesn't really have such a bad idea to it. It does have some good ideas here and there, but surrounding it is really, really bad acting and half-baked ideas to really bring the satire elements up. Yeah, a lot of Sylvester Stallone's things that he did back then, he received a lot of flack for his acting, and I do agree that Stallone, in a lot of those things, he's not very good, but in Demolition Man, he's probably the best part of the film. And I say it's the best part of the film because everyone else is so bad. I get it. Nigel Hawthorne is in this. He's just fine. But, the movie's main characters are Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, and Sandra Bullock. And, Sandra Bullock, I would say, gives probably the worst performance of the film. And I wasn't expecting her to be the worst aspect because she won the Oscar for The Blind Side. Now, I know that a lot of people hated her performance in The Blind Side, but when you look at some of her other things, like Gravity and Demolition Man, I do think that she's the worst actress of the film. There's also some others, like there's Rob Schneider, there's Andre Gregory, and they're all bad also. But maybe it's because Sandra Bullock is one of the three leads that her being in more of the film, having to tolerate her more. That's, yeah. The movie deals with Sylvester Stallone, who's this hardcore cop in the 1990s, gets cryogenically frozen due to it being too rough. And it reawakens roughly 40 years later because wild prisoner, who's Wesley Snipes, escapes and all goes nuts. Society has it's kind of changed for the better. Like there's no violence, there's all this kindness, and yeah, I thought that that aspect of the film with the society consistently getting nicer, that could have worked really well in simply a smarter film with better acting. I did read that there are some elements of classic novels like apparently Brave New World is one of the things that they took some ideas from, and that's fine, but yeah, at least write it better here and have a better director. So as a part action film, the action scenes in this aren't too bad. Like, Wesley Snipes is a real martial artist, but the hand-to-hand combat didn't really care for. The gunplay in this, that stuff is pretty good. And that's honestly probably where all the good in the movie stops. I was just really wanting something with with a little bit of brains to go farther than just a page of society has got nicer over the years. I wanted a passable acting from everyone. The reason Sylvester Stallone could qualify as being passable and Nigel Hawthorne too, is because they're surrounded by all these really bad performances. Wesley Snipes almost approaches being good, like a good performance, but unfortunately he doesn't. Wesley Snipes has done better, Stallone has done better, Bullock has done better. You get the point. I'm going to give Demolition Man from 1993 1 star out of 4. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again next time.